Greetings boys and gits, and welcome again to Dread Waaagh Gaming. In today's episode, we're going to be having another third-party focused look at another company that produces something special for us Orc players. So today we're going to be taking a look at Grimskull Games, or as you might know them, Wargame exclusive. But before we do any of that, let's take a look at the news.
And welcome to the news. Idic Beer of the Wargamers Unification Group is running a terrain square challenge in which you have to create a line of sight blocking piece of terrain. For details, visit the Wargamers Unification Group or visit Nick's channel linked in the description. Hang on, this just breaking. It appears wargamers across the UK and Europe have been warned, or at least advised by the government, that they should seize their opportunity to climb from behind their keyboard and out from the basement and into the sunshine, because it appears vitamin D is being distributed this week and this week only. War has broken out on the interweb. On the home planet of Terra, protests sparked when an effigy of the God Emperor was paraded through the streets of Italia. The God Emperor's intent is unclear to many, and this confusion has sparked a massive political debate and many memes. I don't know what you think he memes.
You may be forgiven the confusion because the models that are made by Grimskull, which is the model company, are sold online in a web store that's known as Wargame exclusive. So the name that you would be more used to seeing would be Wargame exclusive, although when you receive the models, they come in packaging that says Grimskull on them. But the Grimskull logo actually can be found on the bases of some of these models too, and it's really cool. I'll show you now. Grimskull, or Wargame exclusive, have been running for 4 years now, and they've been focusing on making very, very exciting sculpts that are really very well fitting with the, I mean, of all of the third-party companies out there, I would say that Grimskull's stuff is the most Games Workshop-esque. Like, the models really do look like the races from 40k, although they might be a little bit more sexualized in the example of the Tau, for example, and the Imperium, of course. Any females, they do tend to sexualize a little bit. So if you're into that, you know, there's a good place to look. They also have some very interesting character models and stuff like that. So I was actually putting together a kill team, and I was being a bit of a traitor and making myself a little Tau kill team, because I've never played Tau, but I wouldn't mind having a little tester. So I was putting together a kill team, and so I decided to pick out some interesting looking models from Wargame exclusive website. Here they are. I think these are really awesome, but they're not orky, so we're moving on. So let's take a little look at the Orc models that they have to offer. Now, as you can see, they don't hide on the website calling them Orcs, even with a K. Not fussed about that, because they know the rules and they know, you know, they felt around with the law. So what they're getting away with is as far as you can go and get away with it. So there you go. I'm loving what they do personally. I think it's really good, and competition's always good. And besides which, I do actually feel that sometimes third-party competition actually will invite people to buy more Games Workshop product, because they've got more variety, more reason to want to have that particular unit if there's more components that they can put together and make something unique. That it has that effect on me, and you know, a prime example of that would be with the Forge World and Cromlech Grot tanks. Cromlech has made their Grot tanks so that they're interchangeable with the Forge World ones. So if you buy both kits, you can mix and match. I'll show you that in another video coming very, very soon. I'm working on right at the moment, in fact, so that's why it's fresh in my mind. But that's a really good example again, because I would have only bought one set of the Forge World tanks and put them together. I might have converted them up and maybe possibly wanted some more later on, but I'm not so sure. But because of the Cromlech ones, because there's that additional variety, that's more in the mix, the combinations that you can create are far more. So as a result, I've got two sets of both. as you can see, the main focus at the moment, seemingly for Grimskull, is component parts, for the Orcs at least. There aren't so many miniatures as there are some of the other ranges. For example, the Tau is mostly miniature heavy, but the Orcs range is mostly components heavy. So they have our conversion needs in mind. That's what they're thinking of. Orcs like to convert, so it looks like they've figured that out and tried to provide that mostly. There are a few standalone models though. The Copters, the 3 Copters, this is a really cool pack, and it has a variety or choice of different headsets that you can use with it. Now, I've actually got these Copters myself, so I'm going to be unboxing these very shortly, and I'll let you guys have a little look at them. As you can see, they also do a big Mech, which I also do have, but I haven't put that together yet, and I've had it for a little while as it goes, because I intended to use it more as components for a big Mech of my own building. I've got lots of big mechy bits all in a drawer, and I'll make a mishmash of all the components eventually, something really cool. But yeah, the big Mech that they've got there, Big Mech Bad Mood, is actually really cool. I really like him. I like the way the feet are hanging, because he's got the backpack has actually got several like arms and stuff on it, but also has 2 feet that are holding him up. So his actual feet are sort of dangling down there at the front. I really like that. I think it's a really cool little detail. He's sort of lazy. He's got enough stuff to sort of figure out how to do stuff for himself. I like that. It's really cool. Also the boss pole, that don't half look like Bender, doesn't it, eh? And then there are the mechanical squigs. I've got a few of these too. But again, I haven't put those together either. I've recently ordered from Grimskull Games, and I have a few of their products, and I'm going to unbox them now. So let's take a little look, shall we? First thing of note is that Grimskull have upgraded their packaging now. So this is the Orc Copter Pack. So there are 3 Orc Copters in this pack. Let's have a little look. That's nice sleeve. Got a little bit of information on the back there too. Tells you what sort of resin it is as well. Smooth on smooth cast polyurethane resin. There we are. Let's have a look at the box. Okay, so we're bubble wrapped inside. Oh, there's a piece of that bubble wrap anyway. 3 individual baggies by the looks of things. Let's move the box out of the way. Look what we got. So let's individually look at these. Okay, so this is the first of our Death Copter alternatives. Break the baggie there, much easier than damaging the model, trying to fit it out the gap. Right, so I've got a few bits and bobs there. This is the main body of the copter though. Some nice details. Got bombs there to drop. Now, you can build these as they're described in the kit, or you can convert them. You can use this as a basis to build something else, or to, you know, you can add wings onto it. You can do all sorts of different things. Okay, let's have a little look at this body. I don't know. Awkward enough, a little pose. Very orky anyway. Fits well. Have a look at the head. Bad. Some nice detail. Standard orky head neck connection. Good to see. Means he's fully compatible with your other boys. Got some little exhausts, other bits and bobs that go onto there. Another driver's hand, some weapons. Okay, that's that one. Let's move on. Number 2. Different shaped body this time. Yeah, I'm liking these. These are nice. Very good. Some good basic details and stuff. You can add a few more to it, or you can leave it as is. There's some more rockets for that one. Some more bombs. That's a landing gear. Another body. A head on this one. very cool again. I have to excuse the state of my hands at the moment. I've been working in the garden and modelling, so they're a bit blah, blah, blah. So that's that one, very cool. Finally this one. This is the last one. This one comes in 2 parts as such. So you've got the engine block and the bit that the driver rides on. That'd be the other way up, obviously, that way. That connects in there. That's what it does. There we are. That's what that'll look like. I like the idea of anti-grav bikes. I feel like just some small wings off the side, just for stabilisation or something, might be useful. I think I might add them because just to me the models look like they're missing something. They're very reminiscent of the jet bikes that were in the old Orc Collector's Guide from 2005. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. These chaps by Alex Boyd. So they're very, very, very similar. And so these really heavily inspired me, and I think they've obviously inspired Grimskull as well. But even then, these ones here, I felt like they could have done with some stabilisation wings perhaps, but I don't know, for some reason these look more capable of sustaining flight than the Grimskull ones. I don't know why that is quite, maybe it's just the pose that they have them in. But yeah, we have some blister packs, and these are all arms with weapons. And I'd just like to obviously point out these blister packs are nice. We've got the information about the model on the back, and it's kept securely in this bag there. It's a nice bit of branding. It would be nicer if all of their blister packs came in this style. This is the Imperial Puncher. I'm going to use this. This is a girl with a gun. I'm going to use her as part of my survivors on my narrative campaign. But this one doesn't actually have a foam in it. But I do prefer these type. The model's more protected. You know, it's less likely to get damaged. But they do have some blister packs that come with the old foams in. If you remember in the old days, GW used to put their models in these, especially the metal ones. They'd have a foam behind them, and you can use this foam for a lot of really good modelling techniques and painting techniques. So very useful. Don't throw it away. And they're becoming like rocking horse shit these days because you don't, like I say, get them with GW anymore. So I'm glad that Grimskull are doing it. Anyway, let's have a quick look at what we've actually got here, shall we? So these are the Bionic Buzzsaw arms. They are left arms, these ones. You can get them, most of the Bionics that they do come in left or right. So you've actually got the choice. But I really like the little skull details and things like that on these. I think I already have some of these particular ones. I've got a Bionic straw that I was displaying to you guys in one of my previous videos, and in there I've got a few bits and bobs from these guys already. But these are obviously going to help out. They're going to be additions to that same drawer, so very, very useful. And these are the Bionic Claws. So I have the right hand ones, and I've opened the packet of left hand ones, so you can just see. So it's got a nice shoulder pad detail there. There's not too much cleaning up to be done on this resin. It will need to be washed, so before you go putting it into your fancy drawers or go sticking it to any models, make sure you give it a good wash first. Some soapy water. Yeah, they're multi-parts, so the other parts of the claws are down here, as you can see. So yeah, really nice, nicely detailed, going to help with your conversions, and they don't need too much cleaning. There's not too much flash or anything like that on them, so they're fantastic. Okay, so these here are the Bionic shooter arms, left and right respectively. So I haven't removed the right hand ones out of the packet there. I just wanted to show you a few of them here. So let's have a little look at some detail. Again, ignore my dirty hands and nails. Sorry about that, guys. Very nice. This one's a bit of an odd one. Some ghastly kind of weapon, isn't it? Some kind of spinning, I don't know, that's crazy. I like it though, it's fun. Very orky. This one here. Yeah, nice. So I've got those left and right. And I should point out that these are all boy size. They would look way too small on a knob. I mean, on the boys they're just right. So they're designed for boys. These are some more Bionic shooters. These are more left arm ones. I've got right arm also again. So that's... Focused. Very little cleanup. I mean, Christ, there aren't mould lines and stuff. It's very, very clean. Focus. There we are. Some nice textures on the plastic, on the resin as well. So there's a little bit of a mould line on the bottom there. Not much to worry about though. File that down. Beautiful. Look at that one. That one looks ghastly. Very nice. Got like a scope. Very pretty. So yeah, I'm going to really enjoy using these. Definitely. Next up, I've got 4 packs of Bionic bodies. Okay, so these bodies, let's have a quick little look. Skim through them all quickly. That one's got a bullet on the front there. Very cool. That's that one. Next one. I'm holding his neck. There he is. So there's lots of different uses for these. I mean, some of them might be good for making sort of like boy-sized mega armored knobs, or see what I was going to do for like a mega knobs, right? So I was going to make some mega knobs that are bionic mega knobs. So they'd be just, I've already tried it out. They come up just slightly smaller than a standard mega knob, as you'd expect using sort of boy-sized components, but you can just about get away with it if it's a bionic version of. But then you can also use them as stand-ins in your normal boys. You can have the odd body that, you know, is, you don't necessarily, like, orcs aren't the types that particularly organise into groups just because they are all bionic. You know, that'd be a bit crazy really. So I mean, this body here, I'd use this on a biker guy. You know, like, sure, he had a bad accident and he's mad for bikes and stuff like this, so he's actually had some of his crashed components from his motorcycle used to repair his body. You know, cool. You know, you just mix and match. You don't have to have, like I'm saying, you don't need to have a purely bionics unit. You know, sometimes that looks a bit off, if you ask me. Now, this one's cool. Like, that's really good for a mech, isn't it? I mean, Christ, that's awesome. I really like that one. Very cool. Next. Okay. Yeah. Sort of half the body missing. Some cogs in there making things work. Oh, blimey. He's really been through the wars, that one. Oh yes. Oh, is that the neck? Hang on. There it is. Oh, it's like a bomb. Oh, okay. Oh, so the body would be like that, so the neck would be there. Yeah, let's see. That is crazy. I'm not sure quite what I will do with that yet. This one. Oh, yeah. Could be good for Storm Boy. Give him some other form of rockets or something on the sides or something like this. Yeah, that could work well. What else? This dude. Yeah, he's definitely somebody that suffered something in battle. Oh, that's cool though. I'm liking that slung over exhaust. That's pretty cool. Next. Oh, he's quite chunky. I would use this guy myself for a looter. Something like that. Someone that's standing back and shooting. He's already got the pose, like he's looking to the sky to shoot something big and nasty, and he's got this scopy thing. Yeah, that's a looter body to me. This one, probably one of those that I use for one of my slightly smaller bionic mega knobs. And a standard bionic body, someone that's been a bit battle damaged, I'd say. This one, ooh, that one's interesting, isn't it? Interesting. I'm not sure what sort of character that would work best with. Nearly there, guys. Last few. Have a mega knobby sort of style one, I'd say, perhaps, or someone, a biker again. Would be cool for a biker. The details are amazing. Like, these are great. I mean, imagine the variety these are going to add into your boys. Another one that would be a good looter because of the scope, or a mega knob, either way, or a mini mega knob. Oh, this guy, Storm Boy, straight up. Look at that. He's got a rockety sort of thing on the back anyway. Very cool. And some checkers, so he likes speed. So yeah, that works for him. Oh, another mechy sort of one, I suppose. Don't know. Last but not least, we have some heads. And I like heads. Heads are very characterful, so I'm going to take a good look at all of these. Okay, so I've placed the heads onto this stick to just make them a little bit easier. See, there is a little bit of flashing on them to remove, but nothing much. So they're nicely detailed. I think these are great for, you can use them for Ard boys, or I mean like that one in the middle there, that'd be great as a mine even. But I was also thinking, any of you more old school Orc players might remember the Tin Boys. Tin Boys were Orc robots that were often designed to look like enemy troops. So you'd have a Space Marine robot and a Eldar robot and various different ones. And the idea is that they could possibly maybe pass as the enemy, at least the Orcs thought they might, and then they could get closer to them and do more damage, perhaps. And I think you could make some Orky versions, some Orc Tin Boys, perhaps. I think the Tin Boys died out because of, you know, the idea that AI would be kind of not really happening in the 41st millennium, when it's already been discarded with. So having Orcs with robots that can seemingly do something would be a bit weird. So I think that's why they got removed. So there you go, guys. There's a little look at Grimskull Games, or Wargame exclusive. If you'd like to check them out, the website is in the description to the video here, and it's also flashing up on the screen here too. So go and give them a look, check out their models, see what you think for yourself, guys. I highly recommend them. Now it's time for the Community Showcase.
In this week's Community Showcase, we'll be taking a look at 4 amazing models from Carl Ricci. We have his War Boss, 2 bodyguards and a personal mech. Now the War Boss is called Gear Guts, the Gorger, and he's the master of Carl's Waaagh. There, and he's standing on top of a Tau Battlesuit Commander. Very cool. Carl says that Gear Guts is a War Boss, but he used to be a mech, so you know he's quite used to and quite inclined to chase down shiny trinkets and nice bits and bobs to add to himself. And then we've got these 2 bodyguards. Very sexy. Wouldn't mind them looking after me. Lastly, we've got Gear Guts' personal mech. I really like this model myself. Something about the pose and the just general character of it, it's just nice. I really do like it. Carl's used heads from Max Mini EU, and many of you guys may have seen these in use before, but these are perfect use. They are a large head, these War Boss heads from Max Mini, so they work really, really nicely. I think these are the tech heads. They work really well. I'm really glad that Carl allowed us to take a look at his models, and I hope they've inspired you. They certainly have inspired me. I think they're gorgeous. Violent political crashes between those who get it and those who think they get it